Welcome to the Red Dice Diaries. This podcast is a rambling journey through the wonderful world of RPGs from the viewpoint of a long-time GM and player. The music at the start of this podcast was Nightmare by Alexander Nakarada and is used under Creative Commons license.
Okay, so I'm trying to get down to recording a little bit more sort of just general off-the-cuff stuff in a sort of vlogging, although I know there's no videos involved, sort of way. Almost like a daily log. A friend of mine got me onto the idea of doing that. So I'm just recording this quickly on my phone. You'll probably hear me use the word like about 1 million times, and it'll be a little less polished than my normal podcasts. But that's the sort of trade-off you get. So I'm going to talk a little bit about something that happened in a game I played last Sunday just gone, which was Johannes Pavela's excellent Stars Without Numbers campaign that I'm very much enjoying playing in at the moment. Now, we've been playing in this for a while, and one thing I'd noticed is that in our little sort of merry band of ship's crew, Matthew, who's playing an android who's the ship's doctor, didn't really get to take centre stage much and use his like funky abilities. We had myself as the young engineer slash pilot. We had our captain played by Dennis, who's like the face of the group, and we had my friend Dave, who's the fists of fury and combat monkey of the group. However, because we're all sort of appreciate how deadly combat can be in an OSR game, we tend to plan out our combat encounters as much as we can, minimize the dangers to ourselves, and obviously maximize it for the enemy, all of which has resulted in none of us really getting that beat up or injured, which is great for us and for the survivability of the characters. However, it does mean that Matthew doesn't really get to like bust out all of his like medical shiz that he has going on with his character. The second string to his character is the fact that he's an android, or I believe it's a virtual intelligence, as it's called in Stars Without Number. Now, again, because that's just been his thing and robots aren't really a big thing in the setting, he's not really had much of a chance to explore that. And I thought that was a shame because quite often his character would almost seem to get a little bit sidelined through no maliciousness on the part of anyone else, just because his specialities didn't come to the fore. Now, I think it's every 4 levels or so when you level up in Stars Without Number, you get to take something called a foci, which is like almost like a feat, but it involves your background and stuff like that. So I've got a couple that make me amazing at piloting. I mean, I can cut down the jump travel times, the spike drilling times in Stars Without Number, so we can zip around the galaxy even quicker, and that's been really useful. However, when we came to our last foci choice, I was looking at them and I didn't really see any that particularly struck my fancy until I came across the unique foci, which is basically discuss something cool with your GM, work out how it's going to work in the game so you're both satisfied. There you go. Now, after a lot of discussion between myself and Johannes, who was kind enough to consider ideas and discuss this openly with me, I discussed the fact that it'd be cool if my character was actually a form of android, although wasn't aware of it, because I thought that'd be cool, because one of the ways they're likely to find out about that will be if I actually got injured. So Matthew's character would be involved in that, and then also it might give him a lead in to do more of his robot investigation stuff. As it happened, I didn't get injured, but a couple of us decided to get some cyberware fitted. Both myself and Aurora, our captain, played by Dennis, we both wanted to get these drone control modules fitted so we could mentally guide these like gun drones that we just bought. Now, when we went to this place, we had Matthew's character Tao, our android doctor and medical expert, overseeing the proceedings because he's someone we trust. Everything with Aurora went absolutely fine, got it fitted, she's off to the recovery room, happy days. When my character Catherine went in, there was a hubbub of excitement as they cut into my character and found not the normal biological organism, but something altogether more technological. And that was really great because Matthew's character Tao was centre stage, got to make a lot of decisions, got to witness firsthand what was going on, almost like the spotlight shone fully on his character alone for that scene. And he played it really great, the confusion that his character had and the surprise It was a really excellent scene. In fact, we spent pretty much the entire session sort of dealing with the fallout from that. And I did think it sidelined the main adventure a little bit, which was a shame because I know Johannes was hoping to get us back to the sort of space hulk we've been exploring. But I thought it was really cool for developing the characters. There was a lot of great role play that went on. And as I'd hoped, it enabled Tao to be brought more into it. And hopefully, as he's trying to sort of investigate what my character is, we're planning on going to where my character allegedly grew up so they can investigate her background. He's going to start investigating that and have a chance to bring more of that sort of robotic side of things into the game. And I think that's a really cool thing, because by having an open discussion with the GM of the game and keeping in mind what other people are interested in, it enabled us to get a really fun session out of it. We've got lots of potential future plot, and it brings a character more into the game who, through no fault of their own, hasn't been able to use their abilities, and make sure everyone's just generally having a good time. So if you can think of any examples where you've done that or things like that have happened in your games, let me know about it. I'd love to hear what's going on in your games. Until I speak to you next time, take care.
So that's it for this episode. If you have any questions or suggestions for things you'd like to see in the podcast in future, please either email them to reddicediaries@gmail.com or drop me a voicemail at Anchor. Until I see you next time, wherever you're playing, take care and enjoy yourselves.